Right, sitting there rather innocently on the floor down there is a generator. So I think it's just over a 2 kilowatt Jenny. Kipper. Oh, it's a Kipper. It's a Signmaster IG2 2600 digital generator. I don't really know how old it is. I know that it's been, you can see by the dust as well, it's been in a garage for God knows how many years. It was originally bought as a backup for a boat, like a backup power supply for a boat, like, you know, if you ever need a generator on a boat and your engine gives up, portable generator, happy days. But I don't think it was really ever used, and it's just sat in a garage. Now the story goes that it's got a petrol leak somewhere. Well, I've had it sitting on the floor down there now, and the tank is full up. It's got petrol in it. When it arrived to me, it had petrol in it. The tank is full up with petrol. I've had it with the petrol turned on, no leak. I've also now turned it off, so I don't really know where the leak is. Maybe the leak appears once it's running. So first things first, we'll see if it even runs, because it might not even run yet. The aim of the game is to get it up, running and operational. Yeah, look, we've got some info here. It's a generating system, 230 volts, 2.3 kVA, power factor 1, performance class G1, DC rated output 12 volts, mass 26 kilograms, DC rated current 5 amps, rated current 10 amps, 50 hertz, maximal temperature 40 degrees ambience, IP23. Got choke, engine SW. Okay. Got choke, outdoor use only, start and run. Obviously, that's the choke. Yeah, nice. Well, as I said, the tank is absolutely full up to the brim with petrol. Well, not to the brim, I mean the brim's there, but it's full up. So, I don't know where the leak is. That does one thing. That's on. There we go. That says on. So I've just turned it on again. I have had it on because I wanted to see if there's a puddle on the floor, if there's been leaking petrol, and I could find out where the leak is. But at the moment, can't see one. So I reckon it must be when it's running. So let's find out if it runs. Let's not take any of the cowling off or anything like that. Let's leave it as it is. So that is now on. The petrol is on. That's on. This is over to start. And let's just literally just see what happens. We have the smart throttle on so it doesn't rev up maximum straight away. It's probably going to take a few pulls because it's been sat in the garage for God knows how long. Not a dicky bird. Let's take off this little cover that we got here. Let's take this off and see what we got going on in here. I'm about to spray a bit of spray down the throat. That might give it a bit of, you know what I mean? Probably should have checked the oil as well, to be fair. That probably would have been a good idea. See what kind of oil was in there. Well, it's full up. Black. Doesn't smell of petrol. Well, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Oh, come on. Can't get it back in. I think what we'll do, we'll take off the air filter. The spark plug's over here on the other side, so we could see if we've got any spark as well. But before we do that, let's take that off, and we can jam a bit of stuff in there and see if it's gonna fire. If it doesn't fire, then we know we've got no spark for some reason. There's the air filter. Right. Let's have a look, see what we got. There we go. That fired then. It's gonna go. Now sometimes, if you can get it to fire on a bit of spray, it'll suck a bit of petrol in, and away it goes. But it's not having it today. We'll give it one more go, see if it's going to go. We know we've got spark, because it's firing up now. Here we go. Starting to suck petrol now. Well, I managed to keep that running long enough for me to realise, well, determine at the very least, that it runs nicely. We've obviously got a bit of a blockage on the pipe or in the carburetor, so let's take it off. 2 bolts here. We'll take them out and get the carb off. Alright. Let's see what we've got. There's a screw on the bowl as well, so we'll be able, we'll just unscrew that in a minute, get this whole air box out of the way, and we'll unscrew that and see what comes out. See if anything interesting comes out, or maybe nothing comes out. If nothing comes out the bowl, then we know we've got issues. Thing is, the whole is going to come off when we take this off. Probably. Anything else holding that on? Looks like there's something else. Ah, another bolt there. Look. It's a bit smaller. It's a smaller bolt. Put those over there. What size are you? Come on, you've got to give me some sort of clue. Thank you. I like these generators because they're good. I don't know about this particular brand, but this type of generator is good. Smart throttle and that keeps it nice and quiet, low revving until you need the power, and then it revs up and away you go. Oh, take that pipe off of there. Oh, come on, don't be a bastard. Don't be a bastard. Come on. Come on. Yeah, let's just put studs here. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So you've got to take the whole front of the case off in order just to get the blooming air box off. That's exactly what we'll do, yeah. We're a good design team that designed these kippers. Alright, we'll leave that on for now, but we might have to take the whole front off in a minute. But let's just, out of curiosity, there's that pipe that comes from the float bowl. Oh, where's my screwdriver? Let's undo the little bung and see what comes out. Oh, there's petrol coming out. Oh, there's petrol coming out. So that means there's petrol in that bowl. You can't see, can you? Yeah, there's petrol coming out of there. Look, it's flowing down that pipe. See that dripping? I don't know if you can see it or not. So there is stuff in the bowl. So our problem could very well be one of the jets. Either the main jet, or it could just be the inlet pipe. What I might do is blow a bit of compressed air around it. So that's that. Oh, that's a vent. Okay, that's a vent. Where's the inlet from the tank? Tank is there. Oh, there it is. Right, okay. There's the inlet. Coming from around there. Alright. We might have to take off this whole case. I don't want to take this whole bloody... We might have to though. We might be left with no option. All the bolts are from the other side. Alright, let me flip it round. We'll undo the screws and bolts and we'll have to take this case off. Well, what I'm going to do first, I just want to try this just out of curiosity, because sometimes this works, and if this does work this time, I can prove to you and I can show you, you know, that it does work. So you get your compressed air, put it down in the petrol tank, put a cloth over it, and we should be able to blow some. If we pressurise the tank, it should pressurise the line. You've got to be careful though, because you might pop the line off and then you'll have petrol spraying everywhere. But it should pressurise that and hopefully push any blockage through, and yeah, we'll see if we can get it to run. Alright. Let's see. We have got a vent on the carb, so a lot of it might have been going out the vent. Let's see what we've got. We've got the choke on. Spray a little bit more stuff in there. best it's run yet. Not exactly smooth, is it? But it's running at least. Move out as it runs a bit longer. Put it on the floor and let it run for a little bit. See if it smooths out. Alright, let's just show you what I've got gonna go on here then. I've got a little bit of a load test gonna go on. Now, I know some of you are already gonna point out that the petrol in it, because a lot of you believe that petrol goes bad. Listen, the petrol that's in it, I don't know how old it is, but it's still liquid, so that's perfectly good enough for me. I am going to go and, I thought I had a can of petrol here, but I haven't, so I'm going to go down to the petrol station and get some new petrol later. But for now, we're going to run it on this stuff, because it's running. It's a little bit surgy, but it's running. So, I've got this 1200 watt oven. It's 1200 watts. This is a 2300 watt generator, peak. Don't know what the continuous is on it, it doesn't say, but we'll push it, but not for too long. So this is 1200 watts, so it should be able to cope with this easily. The aim of the game is to get the engine hot up to temperature and just let it run, let it burn. Hopefully the carburetor will clear out, the engine will just, you know, smooth out nicely. So we'll see. We've got this load test. I've got some other things I can plug in as well to bring it up to a full load. But for now, we'll put the 1200 watt oven on it. And yeah, loads of cobwebs, bits of straw. I haven't cleaned any of this off yet. The smart throttle does work. I flicked it once and it brings it up to full revs, brings it back down. I don't know if the 12 volts working yet, but we'll test all that later on. So we've got two plugs, two sockets, both the same, 230 volt, 240, 230, whatever. But I've only got one of these little adapter plugs, so I'll just have to run an extension lead if I need to, when I plug the other things in. So that's that. Let's fire her up again. Too much for it to start with. I'll go and get some new petrol in it in a little while. I'm going to play around with it though, see if I can get it to stay running like that, because I just want it to be hot and get it up to temperature. Right, I've got, that's a little filter, I've got a new can of petrol there. Let's pour out the old petrol into this dirty tub. Let's see what the old petrol looks like. I don't think it's going to be as bad as a lot of you think. So it's definitely yellow, but there's nothing wrong with that. That would burn reasonably well. We'll pour that into another can and get rid of it. And when I say get rid of it, I mean put it in something else, of course. We can't be wasting any of it. That'd be terrible. Certainly can't be wasting it. Quite a lot of pepper in that tank, isn't there? Right, that's completely empty now. I could take the line off and drain the last little bit out the bottom, but I'm not gonna. So we'll put that back and we'll pour in the new petroleum. Get rid of that. There's a good, this is a 5 litre can, there must be a good 3 litres there. Put that in the lawnmower. Let's put the new stuff in. Might need that funnel, I'm not sure yet. We'll see. This is very full. Nice new petrol. That'll do for now. Probably holds 5 or 6 litres, maybe, if it's completely full to the brimmo. Right, let's fire it up and get it on a load test. Right, I've put it on this little bit of grass because it was in the way where it was. So it can sit here for a while. Grumpy Bollocks next door's gone out, and I think the other side's gone out as well, so that's even better. It might run a bit rubbish for a while it percolates the new petrol through. Put the choke on because it's gone cold now. See what happens. Might have to run a little bit of compressed air through that tank again. I do wonder if it's got a fuel filter on it. It might be blocked. Might have to delve into that. Let me just go and get the air. Blimey, the old phone's ringing off the hook recently. Right, let's just take this off. While I'm here, I might as well. Let's see if I can. See if I can wiggle this. Right. If I blow, there's not a lot coming out of there now, which probably means there's a little fuel filter in that tank and it's blocked. But if I blow a bit of air, right, undo this cap, and blow a little bit of air down there, it might unblock it temporarily. We'll see. I think that may have done the trick. Possibly. Not really a lot coming through there, is there? I don't really know what happened then. That obviously didn't do a lot. Alright. That obviously wasn't the fuel line. So we'll blow a little bit more air down there. Put that cap on. I thought that would have been there. Seems alright though. We keep blowing it through. Oh, obviously got a blockage. Right, at the moment I'm not sure what you've seen and what you haven't, because when I thought it was recording it wasn't, and when I didn't think it was recording it was, and blah 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 and all that kind of rubbish. So let me just find a screwdriver. I have to use this one. Yeah, so basically, if you see it, great. If you haven't seen it, recap. On the other side, there's an on and off switch. I noticed that petrol was starting to leak out from the on and off switch. So I can see through, but we're going to have to take off this cover and the one on the other side. Phillips screw there, but it's got a flat head. Yeah. So let's undo these. Then we can take the yellow covers off. Then we can see what exactly is going on with the leaking. Have we got to take off this as well? We have. So let's get round here. I suppose it's quite a good thing, because it means we're going to be able to see, well, we're going to be able to see what's going on the inside of this thing. 2 screws, 3 screws, cobwebs. Nothing interesting in there. That's just an exhaust. That's what makes it nice and quiet. To be fair, these ones are nice and quiet. I'm not sure if you have to take this off or not, but we'll investigate on it and see if we do. Because obviously the front panel's got the electrics and everything in it. Should be different, but you don't know until you... I think it is attached. Let's take out this screw. It's all gone quite wobbly now. Wobbly jobbly. Oh, for the love of... I'll tell you what, it's one of them days today. Everything's falling over. If I try and stand something up, it keeps falling over. If I try and do something, it doesn't go right. It's one of them days. But we'll work through it. It's not a problem. That one. Yeah, there's petrol leaking on the front here from inside somewhere. So there is obviously a leak. I wonder if there's a filter which is blocked, and because there's pressure in that filter, it's leaking around the fitting before the filter. We'll see. I wonder if this has been apart before, because all the screws are different. Alright. Well, that can't be good. That can't be good. Take that little rubber bit. That comes out. Comes away. What's still holding it? Is it this screw? There we go. Now we can see inside this side, there's the whole engine. That is the generator, little digital thing. Interesting. Now we've got to try and turn this around without losing screws and things falling apart, because it's all loose now. But I need it to be the other way around. Ah, you bastard! That exhaust is a little bit warm. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Right. Hey. We're falling apart. Look at this. Everything just everything just falls apart the minute you... Blimey, O'Reilly. Oh my giddy aunt. Right. Well, that's that. It's come apart now. This is a serious matter. Right. Oh, so that's just a... Alright. Well, that's quite easy. Not. We're in a little bit of a pickle here because I can't get to the other side of it and I can't turn it round because it's all falling apart. But hopefully I can show you that on and off. This on and off is literally just a valve, it would appear, for the petrol. It doesn't look like there's any electrical switches or anything like that. Oh my giddy aunt. So is that where it's leaking? Out of there. I don't know if you saw that. All of a sudden spat a load of petrol out. Right. I need to try and... We're in a bit of a pickle. Let me sort this out. Right, so I'm just trying to decipher what's actually going on here. I've taken the fuel tank off, the petrol tank, and there's a little filter inside the pipe, inside the line. There's this little filter. And I don't know if it... Oh, it does come out. It was a little bit blocked, I suppose. I wouldn't say it was awful, but there's a little bit of crap around the bottom of it. Still plenty of flow though. So, yeah, I'll give it a little bit of a clean if I can find a blooming cloth. I told you it's one of them, oh, excuse me, it's one of them days today. One of them days. Everything is going against what I'm trying to do. I've even just, everything is just falling apart. Right. I give this a little bit of a blow with a bit of brake cleaner. clean it up a little bit. I might go and get the air on it and blow it off. Bit of what's it? And put that back where it came from. Perfect. Right. Generators are a bit of a pain in general because, well, there's electrics there. Bloody electrics. And you know what they're like. You touch one wire, something's gone wrong, you put it all back together, nothing works, and you think, ugh, I haven't done anything, but you've knocked something and this and that, and oh my god. Right. I need to get to the other side of it, but I can't. Great. Just great. Right, I think I've managed to get you in a bit of a position now where you can actually see something at the very least. So, if I blow... Where's it gone? If I blow down this pipe here... I don't know why that's in that position, but it is. Seems a bit daft to me. We'll put it there. So if this is the one that goes directly on the bottom of the petrol tank, and that goes into this little valve there, which then seems to go up into this, wherever that is, and one of them goes that way, and then the other one comes out the bottom of it, and I'm assuming this is the outlet for the petrol. So, I'm assuming, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that's the case. There isn't any other. Oh, that one goes into the engine. Which is that one. Oh, and I've kinked it. Oh, that might be why that weren't working very well then. Let me, that could very well be our problem. When I put the airbox on, it looks like I've kinked one of them pipes. Well, I haven't kinked it, what I've done is I've squashed it. And it, for some reason, it goes into the engine. I don't know whether you can see that. We're very cramped around here. That one. That's it. That goes. That's it. Right. So that one there, and that's that bottom one there. Well, that goes into the engine somewhere. It goes into a black. Doesn't go into the carburetor. It doesn't go into the carburetor at all. That one there, that goes into the side of the carburetor. So maybe that is the fuel pipe, as I thought it was before when I tried to blow backwards, but I didn't realise there was a silly valve thing on there. Right, okay, not a problem. So now we've got that sorted out. Right, I should be able to bolt the airbox back on again. Wherever that is. And then we can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow air through as if it was petrol, down the pipe that comes from the tank as if it was petrol. I'm going to blow air into that. And then it'll just be as if it was petrol then. This is never going to go back together properly, is it? What in the world is that? Where's that come from? Ah! Aha! Look what I found laying in the bottom of the belly pan. That and that. That goes on there. This is the seal and a lid that goes on there. Haha! Now we're getting somewhere. Right, let me just put this airbox lid back on. This air filter lid. So that's obviously rattled loose at some point. And yeah, it's causing an issue. Right. It's a very awkward position for me to try and work like this. But that obviously goes over there somehow. Maybe that goes on there. Like that. Because it's got the same pattern. So perhaps it goes like that. Or like that. And then no, it goes like that because that fits on there. What way around does it go? Does it go that way or that way? It goes that way. Right, so that must go on top of there like that then. Okay. But that doesn't make any sense. Must go that way. I wonder if it's like a little diaphragm that goes on there like that. That goes on there. Like that. I wonder if it's just supposed to just push in or lock in somehow. I don't know. You'd think it would lock in somehow, wouldn't you? Maybe not. I don't know. I thought that was a bit strange that that was open with petrol in there. Do you know what I mean? I think that was bizarre. Alright. Don't know how I'm supposed to know if that's ever going to pop off again. But so far, I reckon that's part of the problem of why it weren't working very well. Right then. If I blow air through here though, is that going to blow off? We'll find out. That's that. I've opened up the float bowl on the carburetor, so we should get a flow of air and a bit of petrol come through. Not that you can see it, but I'll tell you. Oh, ha ha ha! It did pop that off. You got to remember that the petrol won't be under that much pressure though. But that can't be very good though, can it? That just sitting there like that, because vibrations and that will make that fall off, surely. It must be supposed to lock in somehow. I don't know. Because that obviously fills with petrol. There we go. That's lined up now. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it back together and see what happens is what I'm going to do. I could try and glue that on, but I don't know if that's a good idea, because we might need to take it apart, you know, at some point in the future. So I don't really think gluing it on is a good idea. Do you know what I mean? Eh? little bit of 3-in-1, so I can get that little filter back in there again. Pipes gone all dry now, and it's difficult to get that filter in now. I might just get rid of the filter. There we go. Right, so yep, I'm going to stick it back together and then I'll meet you in a minute. Right, bit of playing around trying to get it back together again, because the cases are always a bit of a pain in the arse. Anyway, it's running, still a little bit lumpy, but we'll I'm going to run it, plug the heater up to it, put it under a load test and see what happens. Puff out a little bit of smoke. That's a good thing, it means it's burning off any rubbish. So that kettle actually overloaded it. Two things I wanted to try and do. That was a 3000 watt kettle, so it's quite a lot over its maximum load of the generator. But I wanted to see if the overload would actually kick in, which it did, and I also wanted to see how much it loaded up the generator. But the good thing is the overload kicked in and it stopped it. Well, it didn't stop it, but it stopped the electric. I stopped the engine, which is great. So that worked. See if it will fire up again after it's ran. That was probably about 15 or 20 minutes worth of running. The oven got up to full temperature, kept kicking on and off as it should do. I haven't got anything else that would actually be on the limit. I've either got stuff that's a lot under or a lot over, and I haven't got two things to put together to make 2,300 watts. Anyway, let's see if it will fire up again. And the smart throttle is on. If I turn that off, it should rev up. Which it does. Getting smoother and smoother the longer it runs. I think one of the valves, well there's only probably two valves, but probably the inlet valve is a little bit sticky, which is why it's got that little bit of a pop. Pop, 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 pop now and again. Probably take the plug out and give that a clean in a minute. See what that looks like. But it's getting smoother and smoother the more it runs. This heat gun is 2,000 watts. So let's plug the heat gun into it and see what that does. Oh dear. Have we run out of petrol? Oh. Run out of petrol. Let me fill it back up with petrol again and then we'll see what the heat gun does. Just checked, thought I'd better let you know, I've just checked that little thing that was there to make sure it does not leak. It doesn't seem to be leaking at the moment. The little cap with a little diaphragm thing is still on there, which is good. So we'll put all that back together, fill it up with some petroleum, and fire it up again. The more I can let it run, the better. It's only about, well, not even a quarter, there's only a little bit in the bottom. down a bit and take the plug out, give it a clean, go from there. Right, it's been probably about an hour now since it ran. I've been indoors, had a spot of lunch. So let's turn it around like that. I don't think. Might have been leaking. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's see what the plug looks like. Plug's in here. Take this off. What is it? That one. Might need to get an extension. It might be alright. Still warm, obviously. Oh, it's got bits. It's got a few little bits around it, but it's not major. Little bits of carbon, little bits of dirt. Where's the wire brush? I'll give it a brush up, and then we'll put it back. Inspect that to see if that is leaking petrol, and then we'll fire it back up again and see what it's going to be like now, because it's had a decent run. It's been under load. Now it's got a clean plug. We might get rid of some of that little bob, you know what I mean? Like little pops, aren't they? That can mean that there's a carbon on the valves. Valves are a bit sticky now and again. Can be the plug. Can be the mixture. Usually it's dirty valves, and after being ran, they all burn off. It will turn out to be alright. So we'll see. That back on there. Like that. Let's see what that goes. Like that. Great. Just whip this off again, just to see if there's any petrol leakage. Doesn't seem like there is. I just thought I see a little bit of wetness around here and on the grass, but I don't think it's leaking. I think that's alright. Can't really get my fingers in. That's the trouble. When they put all these cases on, you can't... What's that? You can't get anywhere. Like to see anything. They don't make it easy, that's for sure. They make it easy to get to the air thing and the spark plug, the air filter and the spark plug and the oil dipstick, which is one thing, I suppose. That's a good thing. But they don't make it easy to see anything else. What they should do really, this valve thing should be on a little door here, so you can either, with a little mounting bracket, so you can either take the door off like you can this, and you can see that valve thing. I don't know what it is, or it should be, you know, you should better get to it, but you can't. It's quite an important thing, because I don't know what it does. I've never taken one of these apart before, so I don't know what that does. It's obvious. There is a switch on it, by the way. I didn't think there was, but there is. There's an electrical switch that does cut spark, as well as turn the petrol off, as well. But I can't see any leakages on those pipes, or anything around there, so I don't think it's leaking. Smells a bit, but make sure that's done up. Yep. I don't know. Seems alright though. Let's put this case back. Do that one back up. Fire it up and see what happens. Let's put the choke back on. Oh, nearly. I think I'm going to call that a success. Let's plug in the 12 volts and measure that to see what that's measuring at. Right, so let's get my little setup going. There's my meter, good old Quartz meter. Bloody fantastic meters, these Quartz ones. I have got a code for, I have got a link for you. I remember to put it in the description, but we'll see. Take these off. Let's plug that in. Now, we should be seeing 12 volts on this. 16.5, 18.1. Going up and down a bit, isn't it? 24, 24.3, 23.9. Blimey. So with the smart throttle off, it's 24 volts. With the smart throttle on, drops down to 18, 17.9. So it's not exactly 12, is it? It's a bit high, so you wouldn't be able to run anything 12 volts off of it, but you could charge a 12 volt battery, which is what that's for. It's for charging car batteries, really. That's what it's for. Let's put some current on the 240 side and see if that changes. Ready? 2000 watts. 26 volts, 25 volts, 26.3. So when you've got current going through the 240 side, you're at 25 volts, 26 volts on the 12 volt side. So really, if you was going to try and run something, if you were going to try and run something 12 volts with it, you'd end up blowing it up. But you could charge a 12 volt car battery with it. With a drain on that, if that's got a drain on it, and by that it means if it's connected to something that's draining it, it'd probably be a lot less. We can test that actually by putting a car battery on it, so bear with me. Well, I thought I was going to be able to put a battery on it for you, so we could see what it was at, but they're all other places, so I can't get to them right now. But there we go. One kipper generator up and running well, generating electric and working just as well as you'd expect it to. If you like this sort of thing, think about sticking around. I don't just do generators, I do lawnmowers, trimmers, anything engine wise, camper vans, motor cars, vans, all sorts. CB radio, ham radio, everything like that. In fact, I've got an aerial down there, an Antron 99 that I've got to repair next. So if you want to see that, think about sticking around. Cheerio, you lot. All the best.